for a little rest after... Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed... Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede! Come on, we've got to go complete...
Ticket. Go on. You have my approval. Ah. The show begins.
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of Mirapede via the regular channels.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and... Huh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But...
Let's go ask the Duke. Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release papers?
Yep. It's you two. Are you leaving now? That's right! Today is our last day in prison! But now that Paimon says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. It's actually been pretty nice. Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of this place now. Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure. Let's go.
Well, you actually agreed. No worries, you must be busy. Paimon was just joking.
Ah, so you do have a polite side, I see.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Shall I come along too? Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria here. The chefs sure do know how to make good grub.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Mirapede is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since Neuvillette was the one who asked us to come here, we should probably go report to him now. Next up, the Palais Mermonia! You're going to see Monsieur Nervillette? Please pass on our kind regards.
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe it would be the polite thing to do.
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent string of troubles.
The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Marish. The list of involved suspects should be... Ah, found it.
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been sent to the fortress of Merop. Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders, but who did not Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased.
So many names. Is the one who sent that...
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essin, to be precise. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case.
Monsieur Nervillette, someone claiming to be from the Spina Durasula, he said, and I quote,
Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly?
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here.
Yep.
Hey, Navia, we're here! Whoa. Check out all these people. Hey there, are you Navia's friends too?
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them over.
Invite them over?
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like to come and have some.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this for ages.
Something feels off. But, oh well. Let's get back to business. Is there anyone called Essan here?
Yes, that's me.
You're Essa?
Yes, monsieur, Nervilette.
Did you write that threatening letter to Kiara?
I did, but I was just following orders.
Orders from whom?
Domenico, he was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico. Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was as much as I could do.
You've done more than enough. I am extremely grateful for your help.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon as possible.
All right then, let's head to the fortress right now. The Fortress of Meropide would be super scary, but looking back on it, it really wasn't that bad at all. You've got a set schedule, guaranteed food and board, and you can even... Oh, you mean Risley? Well, he does look kind of intimidating. He's actually... Paimon wonders how he's like with the people here. Do they... Yeah, he must be doing something right...
Excuse me, did I hear someone there?
Huh?
Excuse me, is someone passing by? Could you do...
Nope, Paimon wasn't dreaming. There's someone over there for sure. But Paimon doesn't see anyone.
Oh, did you hear my call? Thank you.
Why are you hiding in here anyway? If we hadn't happened to pass by, you could have been stuck for days.
It's a bit complicated. Can we not talk about that for now?
Whoa, that's terrible.
No, it was nothing quite.
Just your hat? Huh. Wait, Paimon gets it! Something must have happened to your hair! Sorry. So that's what happened. Paimon gets it now. No wonder why you had to hide inside the box. You just need your hat, right? We'll get it back to you right away. What kind of hat was it?
I think you may have misunderstood me, but it's a soft and brown hat with a bit of a brim. Nothing fancy. I think I probably lost it near the entrance elevator. It was getting a bit hot, so I took it off and had a quick nap. But when I came to, it was gone. It's really important to me, so your help would mean the world.
Don't worry, we'll be back.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meripede, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself! Guess we've made a name for ourselves at this place.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is? Paimon hopes nothing came of it.
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melazines, is he? To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered—
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person and have my questions answered.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's at—
Oh, did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened? Sigewinne! Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her seems to be imprisoned here. Really? Is Kiara gonna be okay?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there anything you can do about this?
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the criminal?
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand, correct?
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concerns. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the infirmary. watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
How brilliant!
Paimon doesn't see anything here. Let's go somewhere else.
Did Neuvillette just walk by?
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink? Paimon's not that thirsty, but thanks anyway. Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about. Typical Sijun. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Familiar? Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from you.
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
What's that?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history. Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time,
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
all we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress. But people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
Interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network? If you'd like to learn more, here's our flyer. Our slogan may have evolved over the centuries, but our goal has remained here. This book is for you.
You two look kind of familiar. It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network designed by our first president. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself, though. The first president of our net, all of us have a lot of respect for him.
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol and Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh! So the network was inspired by... Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right. Let us talk to him first and get to the bottom of this situation.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Essin has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that, you must ensure my safety.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines? Over that?
My initial target was Nervillet. Everyone in the fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him, after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? If I could get them to strike back... But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things. I recall that Kiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection, so I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Kiara and force her to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people recently?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Nervillet, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melazines to stir up greater chaos?
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different now.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing. I trust that they would make different choices from before.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Nervillet, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted disturbance.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ah, I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memornia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore, I leave that matter in your hands.
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is that right?
Yep. Neverland thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice. And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Now's your chance.
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head back. No need to see us off.
Please, take care.
There'll be an extra fee for that. I'll think about it.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
Being too popular can be such a hassle. Who knew the people would adore me so much?
think about it.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
Fee for that. I'll think about it. There'll be an extra fee for that.
Being too popular can be such a hassle. Who...
Soleil Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Neuvillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here.
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been Neuvillette!
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment, as there are some urgent matters I must tend to first. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede, and it appears that you have managed to complete all the release paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how... Yes? What is it?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured...
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was busy with a moment ago. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water levels rose? Oh no! What about all the people there?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to...
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful.
here. Navia should be around here, right? We need to make sure she's still... Paimon means... haven't seen a single soul all the way here. Oh, this is getting scary.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
All right. I'm not young anymore. How will I survive on my own? My Desiree!
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg! My leg! How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we came as quickly as we could.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right, you'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
This...
Right. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded in the water. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. No one knows if this could happen again.
How awful.
It was quite frightening indeed.
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
Sorry. I need to go for now.
And off she goes.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so, of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. All Traveler, Paimon?
Huh? Right now.
Thank you.
Excuse me, good sir.
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiance?
I'm just trying to get up.
Yeah, she does. Ever since Caesar passed away, I asked her what she was doing. She knows he's gone and...
And she's been doing...
I'll bet. I don't know if I'm honest. I think this is all so... Anyway, well, that's everything.
All right, well, thanks for...
You're welcome.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom...
You're kidding.
I don't know anymore, but what if? Just...
Called it.
Oh, please.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
Hello there. Sorry for disturbing. We're actually quite interested in...
You've come to the right people. He was a great magician. I was right up close.
I saw him perform. Sometimes he...
Huh.
But after he died, there were also rumors, as I'm sure you know.
Whatever the case, now that the weasel is back, I bet Gemma must be No, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
So that's Gemma. Wait.
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid, we mean... It looks like you're injured.
Thanks for your
My name is Linny, and this is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this...
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. I promise you can trust us.
I never believed that he would...
Huh. I suspected as much.
No.
Got it. All right. Sorry for disturbing you.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be...
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely...
She's lying. She definitely...
That's fair. In any case...
Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton.
Right. That's how things are.
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver. They won't ever come...
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still, they were helping evacuate the residents, and...
What should we do?
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't. I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just... gone. I just can't...
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect...
I can understand.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa.
How could Master ever be upset? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not? Everyone ends up here.
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, Demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe...
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking... I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be accomplished with someone else's help. Malus and Silver have helped me so much. I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims from the incident that took place here.
Obena, Khan, Burnett, Giverny, Francine, Karina, Daisy Ray, Joinville, Julianne, Esson. So, everyone else is...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And the overall outcome indicates that the cost...
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure, but that isn't something we should ever consider a trade. Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone.
You're right. What you said just now was pretty amazing, actually.
Oh, really?
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The knave?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no...
Thank you.
But wait, Do you?
We just met recently. Right.
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. But that doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation works.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on.
I apologize for all the way. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. You've witnessed, as I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster. Lending your organization a hand was a natural
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties. I won't forget your kindness.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived a little earlier to prevent this from happening.
Don't say that. You and your subordinates did everything you could. As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person, and they weren't the price paid for other salvation. They chose to become heroes themselves. I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right now, there's nothing more suitable. They really did become heroes.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that prophecies represent fate. Fortunately, I've never been one for such opinions.
So, you're one who will try to change fate, then?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention. By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just...
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when... Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received during some recent investigations. A child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming... My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly,
So that's why the Fatui were all...
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person... Which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you. I'm sure you already understand.
Oh!
The intel I just shared about the room...
Got it! So all we gotta...
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss...
But are you sure you're up to exploring some room?
Well, I'm sad, yes. There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. As my father Besides, I'm also doing this for myself.
Since you put it that way, I have no... All right.
Okay, the three of us will... these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa, talk about old.
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
Let's go in and have a...
Just be careful.
We'll need a strategy.
Illusion shattered!
Shower me with praise! Time to shine!
Nada Kondala.
This place has also been contaminated by primordial seawater.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontanian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and it won't be don't get my mind wrong. We're not saying you're useless.
No, you're right. I can't do anything in this situation. That complicates things. Maybe the only way...
In that case, do you want to wait?
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a chance the water will rise. So, staying here wouldn't be safe either. I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up...
All right. Come... Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side. Huh?
Demoiselle?
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself?
Maybe she just wants some time to herself.
Oh.
Yes, it would appear.
That's quite possible.
Oh, right. It must have slipped my mind when I... This is a familiar feeling, yet...
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. I was just trying to recall what...
Do you remember Mr. Giverny?
We were headed to see how things were...
Ah, right.
Oh? Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too.
How have...
I've been great. Thanks. They were knocking at my door day and night.
Sometimes, force.
That's right.
Oh, yes. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know what we would have...
Did you cultivate...
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for some of Mrs...
Very well.
Wait. Excuse me, madam. If I...
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name I've heard this name before. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, don't we?
Huh? We do?
Well, now, did you...
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please.
My trial?
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just about time now.
Oh?
Look, it's Navia! She's here!
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many... And as for the judge... huh?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall...
All right. But...
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on, do they have any idea?
Enough with the whispering!
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the... After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. If not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rasula fought for the...
Wait a moment. Aren't you just...
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand accused. We are one big family, all of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here. You will be together.
Huh? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for...
Oh, well, if that's what...
How wonderful, Miss
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember...
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's guilty!
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but not...
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed, even the death of Master...
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely acted as an individual, extending her hand. Please do not mistake her actions as being a...
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. This is the nation of justice, the nation of Hydro. Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to everyone. Water accepts all, blends with all. It will surely accept her kindness. Everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro, and in the end, everyone shall meld together. Thus, when a unanimous opinion emerges, that opinion represents justice. Now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We and Navia are one.
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. You are merely jealous that Demoiselle still has a chance to exist as an individual. Have you forgotten how much you all once longed to become individuals, to become independent?
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and I shall defend Demoiselle. And that is how we will enforce justice.
Ugh, my head... it hurts.
Demoiselle!
Silver, it hurts. My head is spinning. All I can see is stars swirling in front of me. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the very beginning. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? Don't let them escape!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
He says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia. Silence.
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense, and cannot... The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear...
Our thanks, monsieur.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, Demoiselle. This is your only chance to lead this...
Loose.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this shall be our last goodbye.
Malus. Silver.
Quickly, you must...
Goodbye, Demoiselle.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you were just about to be dissolved within. I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a... Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened?
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you...
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neuvillette, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so oh! type who feels awkward.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then?
I suppose. Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work.
No way, don't worry. She's...
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to understand the...
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. So, Neverlet. This isn't going anywhere.
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate. They had even transported a log. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the nave, and we had a chat.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then! Strike a pose! Shine down! Ha! Rest and rebuild!
Illusion shattered!
Torrent, bring rescue!
Nada Kundala.
Let's move out. Oh no, another unstable path. Watch your step. Watch out! There are rocks falling over here!
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
Seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
Illusion shattered!
Germinate! Hold the line! Strike a pose! Time to shine!
Torn to oblivion! Nada Kundala.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place? There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates? It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated.
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the...
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain. More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your duties.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at these slates. This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy's sure to come true.
I really hope it doesn't...
Still, Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird when you look at them together.
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does match the records. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she be in such a posture? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the prophecy?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from...
In that case, there's no time to lose.
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina.
You still have energy for
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office.
Are you really gonna tell?
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily, which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
All right, we'll leave it in your hands then.
I will be carefully
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve. All right.
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two.
Yay! And there's good food too! Paimon's already starting to forget what happened.
Oh, that voice. Is that who?
Huh?
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine?
Mona?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontanian, are you, Mona?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound... Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, there was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now. Nope. Although it is used by us in place of
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name.
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one. Astromancer Barbeloth Trismagi...
Whoa, that's a long one.
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice as great scholar of the stars. Just
thrice as great?
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but when she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't.
Terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you, Mona?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dornman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird the invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would go a long way to make things more certain and less...
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of all Tevat. Ascertaining this is akin to... I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call me an astrologist. But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents involve the fate of the world.
A visionary? Sounds really
Of course. The old hag could do it, and I'd bet there are others amongst those. Huh? Are you sure? All right, I'll help you. It isn't often that I see you with such a serious look on your face. I'll tell you once I hear back from her.
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing as always.
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all. So
that's the greatest of astrologists for you, of
That's the spirit.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need...
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks. If Paimon hadn't spoken for you, it'd be you getting a... that's more like it. Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack it up and get going.